Fellas, AC here. Welcome back to another review. Today is 150th episode. So I thought I'll do something special today, just for you all. And before I go into it, thank you fellas. Last video got me about 150 subscribers in about 4 days. That is phenomenal. 4,000 views. It is going very strong. I'm really thankful. I really think you guys are awesome. You've supported me so beautifully. Your comments just lift me up. It's amazing. I loved it. I think I'm in the mood to do a very fine review today of an iconic fragrance, right? This beguiling beauty is called Shalimar. Shalimar by Guerlain. This was basically a late 2000s vintage bottle. I've given it a huge dent because this is one of my absolute favorites when it comes to Guerlain fragrances. I have a very soft spot for Guerlain fragrances. There are many flankers to this one, but I chose the EDP because the EDP is closest to my heart. I own quite a few of them. Here is one latest acquisition, which is a 1980s Shalimar EDP vintage. I also have an extrait which I can't find. I also have decants of 1960s Guerlain Eau de Parfum vintage. Now that smells amazing, but nobody can find it. It's worth in thousands. So let's start. Visit any Guerlain shop, any Guerlain boutique. This bottle, is centerpiece. This fragrance is the crown jewel of Guerlain. So let's start. This was released in 1925, was created by Jacques Guerlain, and how it happened was he was experimenting with his father's creation, Jicky. So there's a little bit of Jicky in, this is Jicky extrait, massively expensive. So a little bit of Jicky in Guerlain, so he was experimenting with it. He was basically pouring in a new compound which was basically discovered in the 1920s called ethyl vanillin, which was basically a very rounded, strong, deep and dense vanilla chemical compound. And he came up with this beautiful concoction, and that's how the story of basically Shalimar starts. So, Shalimar, let's start with the name first, and then we'll go into bottle design, and then we'll go into the fragrance. All three are important. Shalimar is named after a beautiful Mughal garden based in the city of Lahore. Now, this whole fragrance has to do with King Shah Jahan, who was a Mughal emperor. He ruled over the Asian subcontinent, and he was in love with a beautiful woman called Mumtaz Mahal. This is what roughly she looked like. Now, he was so in love with this woman that he created a beautiful garden called Shalimar. And the name of the place is called Shalimar Bagh. Bagh means garden, and that place is where he used to make love to this beautiful woman called Mumtaz Mahal, who was his bride or his wife, Begum. Begum is the word used in Urdu to define madam. And they were supposed to, that was their retreat. They would make love in the night under this starlit night sky, I was going to say. So anyways, he was, this was a beautiful love story, but it has a very sad ending. So when she was about to give her 14th, child, birth to the 14th child, that's when she passed away. Unfortunately, she died at the age of 39. And this guy was totally heartbroken. Yeah, he never married again. Being the emperor, he had, all avenues to do so. He never married, and he was basically spent the entire rest of his life in mourning. And as a result of that, he created another monument called the Taj Mahal. And the Taj Mahal is so beautiful. Guys, if you stand in front of it, you will be taken aback by the beauty of this building. Yeah, no matter which way you look at it from the sky, from the sides, from the front, it is amazing. Okay, and Taj Mahal is basically, somebody actually said a beautiful line on Taj Mahal. It basically is proclaimed as a single solitary tear in the cheek of time. Yeah, that's Taj Mahal. So anyways, that's the connection to this fragrance. So it's named after Shalimar, which is where the love between these two people blossomed. And now let's get into the bottle design. The blue top at the very top of this, you see that? This basically is after the headdress of a lot of Mughal queens. They used to wear this beautiful crown headdress. I'll show you the picture of Mumtaz Mahal again. You can have a look. Her headdress is very much like this. But the color blue symbolizes the color of water, purity. Beautiful turquoise blue color. The rest of the body, as you can see, symbolizes the neck of a lady, shaped like a neck of a lady. And then if you go towards the bottom, it's like the bottom of the lady. Yeah. But here are some water-like, if you like, structure. It's more evident in the vintage. Have a look. It looks like gushing water. Fountain seems to be a very important piece in the Mughal architecture. So if you look at old Mughal architecture, every big monument has a beautiful garden in front of it. Taj Mahal has a beautiful garden, and it's dominated by series of fountains. And if you look at it, it can also be seen as water flowing out of a fountain. Yeah. So it's in front of the Taj Mahal, it's in Shalimar Bagh. Any old Mughal big monument has a beautiful garden, and it will have some fountains as well, and water plays important role. So that's the bottle design. When it was released in 1925, these were packaged in baccarat crystal bottles. So you can imagine how much work went into actually creating and marketing this fragrance. It was one of the most exquisite fragrances. Still is. I mean, these fragrances, as I said, this is a crown jewel. So it still smells amazing, no matter what formulation you buy. So, here is a look at the first Guerlain advertisement that went out. And when it was released, it was considered improper for sort of virtuous ladies to wear Shalimar, whatever the reason. But now the trend has completely changed. You know, ask any beautiful lady if she has Shalimar in her collection, she would probably say yes, because it smells so amazing, right? So now let's get into the smell, right? So first things first, does this smell dated? No, it doesn't. This is a timeless beauty. It'll never be dated. It's been created so beautifully, it'll never be dated. But if you're new to perfumery and you do not have any idea about vintage fragrances, then it might come across as a bit disturbing. It might throw you off guard because of the notes. So let me explain to you, and then you can decide whether you want to sample this or not. I really hope you do, because I am pouring my heart into this review. Alright, let's see how it starts. When you first spray, it'll take about an hour to cook and mature on your skin. Don't judge this within the first few seconds. It's pointless. It changes into something amazing. So what does it transform into? This is about 1.5 hour spray. It is an absolutely, as I said, it's a beguiling beauty. I'm in love with Shalimar. I love Shalimar. I'm going to review each and every single one of their flankers. So, what do you have here? So when you first spray, you will get a nice dose of bergamot and lemon along with vanilla. The vanilla is like edible vanilla. Literally, it smells as if it's fleshy, ready to eat stuff. Then it transforms, and I've waited for it to transform. It's about 1.5 hours. And it's become extremely difficult to pick up notes. But what you're getting is a very dense, rich and opulent vanilla-centric fragrance. And there is a lot of small things going on here. So it's got something which smells like slightly animalic lavender anise mixture. There is no lavender in this fragrance, but as I said, it is based on Jiki. What does Jiki have? Castoreum, lavender and vanilla, right? So you get that Jiki. If you're aware of Jiki, you'll smell Jiki in Shalimar. But just a tiny hint. It'll just peak up and go down. You have a beautiful, sensual leather. Almost as if, you know how a body would smell when you're making love, when you're warm. There's a lot of warmth in this fragrance. It's like the emotion of love. You know, it's warm, it's just disarming, it's beautiful, yeah? So that's the kind of leather, warmth of leather. It's beautiful. Yeah, and then you have little subtle floral notes. The floral note I get the most is rose, deep sensual rose, very soft, like a narcotic flower. I mean, I've got something here which is called hyacinth. It has this amazing narcotic smell. You know, my room is at the moment smelling amazing. That narcotic rose, you know, deep rose, sensual, deep rose, but very tiny bit, only when you focus. And then you have something, oh, beautiful. It has what you call a sort of a tangy, fruity, animalic smell, and that is castoreum. Highest level of castoreum, purity, you know. And Guerlain is known for two things: the finest vanilla and the finest castoreum tincture, right? Both are here. And you have slight powderiness of iris, but iris is more green and radiant. The fragrance is also radiant. The reason I'm doing a 1.5 hour dry down is this is a funny fragrance. There's an opening and there's a dry down. There's literally no heart. And it's quite ironic. A fragrance which is inspired by the emotion of love literally has no heart. Yeah? And this fragrance changes a lot, right? Ah, man, I'm biased. I'm totally in love with this fragrance. But hopefully I'm capturing the scent. It's very hard because it's beautifully blended, but it's like a lemony, rounded vanilla, right? With beautiful, subtle hints of rose, nice, warm leather, yeah? With slight, tangy animalicness, very slight. Don't get upset, don't get alarmed. Very slight bit, slight dirt in it. You know, imagine you're making love outside, outdoors in the night, and you're in nature, you'll get dirty, right? So that's the kind of thing, but it's very sensual. So that's the fragrance, and just, you know, has a little interplay with various notes coming up and down. You have to sit down with it and you'll enjoy it. This is amazing fragrance, guys. Amazing. Marketed for women, perfectly wearable for men as well. Now, let's talk about the high points and low points, pros and cons. Okay, number one, when I wear this fragrance, I feel I'm holding a historical artifact in my hand, you know. It's like holding Mona Lisa in my hands. If you are inspired by such things, if you're inspired by wearing history, you know, I don't have to say anything. That's the number one pro. It's historical artifact. Almost 100 years old, fellas. Yeah? Second, it's the most intriguing fragrance in my collection. One of the most intriguing. It just, every time I wear it, I never get bored of it. It's like the Taj Mahal. No matter how many times you visit the Taj Mahal, right? And you know, it's a sad monument. It houses the tombs of Shah Jahan and Mumtaz. But your heart is filled with so many emotions when you stand in front of the Taj Mahal. This fragrance is exactly like that. It has many emotions, and I feel them every time I wear them. Sometimes I feel more, sometimes I feel less, but it makes me emotional. I'm emotionally connected to this fragrance. I love it. So that's the second bit. Number third is the complexity, richness, and depth. Every Guerlain Shalimar flanker has something to offer. Yeah. So this is a vintage. I've just started wearing it. This is something different to offer. I'll review this. This is something different to offer. The extrait has something different to offer. The initial has something different to offer. So it's really a complex fragrance, and this one smells different in different seasons. I can't wear this in summer. I'll come to that. But it offers something different every time I wear it. But most importantly, it gives me a tremendous emotional uplift when I wear this. It's a tremendous fragrance. Yeah. Now the fourth, it has superb performance. You know, all you have to do is choose one spot where you want to wear this. Let me give you a hint. It loves warmth. It really does well indoors. So if you're sitting in an office environment, put one spray either anywhere on your head, because head emits heat. It loves it. This fragrance loves it. And choose one spray under your shirt. You will be reminded, you will be reminded of this fragrance all day and till your next shower. I promise you. This has got tremendous longevity. Yeah. In terms of projection, I would say medium, but as I said, if you're in an enclosed environment, People will smell you. So do not go heavy. I've warned you. More than 2 sprays is asking for trouble, right? 1 is good. You might feel that this doesn't have performance, but trust me, it flies off. It really, really is very noticeable. Anybody wearing Shalimar is bound to be noticed, right? Tremendous performance. Now the downsides. Number 1, as I said, if you're not aware or comfortable with wearing classics, it might throw you off guard. Don't judge it, give it some wears, see if it works for you. Number 1 downside. Number 2 downside, this fragrance is too much. Yeah. So if you spray too much, or if you are unable to deal with complex fragrances, this is going to put you off because it will wrong foot you. You will not be able to understand what is this? What is this? This is what you will say, you know. So these are the 2 downsides. Third would be, I couldn't wear this in summer. This is not an all year round fragrance, but most Orientals are very difficult to wear in high heat. So yeah, those are 3 downsides, but they are downsides for people who are not comfortable with complex vintage fragrances. But as I said, this does not smell dated. Take my word for it. Test it out. You'll be bowled over. If you like decent quality fragrances with complexity, you'll be bowled over, fellas. So where to wear this? This is a very seductive fragrance, extremely seductive. As I said, it has this disarming quality, right? So I would wear this in moderation, wherever I feel like. As I said, it's a fragrance which will make you happy every time. Want to wear this to work? You can. Want to wear this to date? You can. Want to wear this to clubbing? I do not know. I wouldn't wear this to clubbing. I would wear this when I'm by myself, in my own company, and just sniffing my wrist and just feeling myself walking in paradise. I tell you, what a fragrance this is. So, marks out of 10. Is there any doubt? 10 out of 10. The finest Oriental ever made. Hope you like this review. Take care. Bye-bye.